If knowledge is power, learning is your superpower. Jim Quick. What do you think about this quote? Do you agree or disagree? Agree, right? We need to learn from our superpower to learn, and that's what we are going to be doing here. Do you know this place, guys? Where is it? Say it in English, please. La Barranca de Huentitan, right? Something like that. No. Barranca de Huentitan. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place, which has a secret that I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to give you some insights about this beautiful secret. Do you know what is this? Arcediano's Bridge. You go down in the Barranca, or in the canyon of Huentitan, and there are about 60 laps until you go down. Once you arrive down, there is a town, and also there is this beautiful bridge. Why did I bring this picture? Because I want to show you something. When I was invited to this talk, they told me to choose one thematic line, and I chose this one. I could have worked with recreating education, the curriculum, or recreating the school and the communities. And I chose this, recreate education. Why? Because we recognize today more than ever the conditions that we have. We are facing challenges. The future is not the same, right? And also we need to recognize how are we going to be critical, flexible, and sensitive? How are we going to have that vision in order to recreate the education that we want in the future? We are living difficult times, and I want you to keep in mind this thematic line, because it's the one that we are going to be working with. And I have two questions for you. Number one, what is the purpose of education in the face of the tensions that current educational systems are experiencing? In our country, we are facing a lot, right? There are so many changes. We don't know what theory is better, what methodology. We are working on projects. We are working on so many different things. And another one we have is this one. What educational challenges have impacted the lives of educators? And I put this picture of the bridge because this is the way I see the future. Maybe we are here and we need to go to the near future. What are we going to do? How are we going to get there? And the topic I'm going to be presenting has to do with pronunciation. Please raise your hand, the teachers who are teaching pronunciation to your students. Pronunciation, do you love it? Yes? Do you think it's difficult or not? A little bit, right? Okay, another question. How familiar are you with the International Phonetic Alphabet? Okay, more or less. With the phonemic charts, for example, Adrian Underhill. All right, we have some hands raised. Today, we are going to be presenting another phonemic chart, and I'm going to be showing a very easy way to present pronunciation. Keep in mind that thematic line that we have, recreate education. Not the same way that we have been working. We have to think in a different way. So I have a story to tell you. Do you like stories? Well, please, do not think, what happened with this teacher? What did she smoke or something like that? This story is real, I promise, okay? Once upon a time, in the Barranca de Huentitan, the canyon that I told you, there was a big event. Humans in the past used to have one language. They used to speak only one language, and they knew all the sounds of the language. There wasn't many languages. There was only one. But there was a villain called Babalus, and he wanted to confuse human beings. He wanted to confuse, to make them suffer. So one day, he did a spell on all the human beings, and he was fighting with a titan, and the titan fell in the canyon of Huentitan. Many years ago, all this place was an ocean. And I don't know if you know that in the Barranca de Huentitan, it is the last part of the San Andres failure. And it is very interesting. Here, I was showing you this picture. Here is a secret tongue. What, teacher? Yes, here is the giant, the titan who fell. And here, there are many sounds that are going to give you a lot of values, a lot of knowledge, and they can help you if you are having some troubles. One day, a boy named Leito was going down this canyon with his grandmother, and suddenly he started listening to a heartbeat. Tun, 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 tun. When he went out of the road, he shouldn't have done that, he saw a big rock, and the rock opened. And inside the rock, there was a girl, and she was saying, "It's time." The boy was looking at the girl, and he was saying, "Time for what? Who are you? What is this place?" And she introduced herself as the guardian of the time. And she told Leito, "Leito, it is time." Nowadays, human beings are destroying each other. They are killing each other because they cannot communicate. Many years ago, there was a horrible event, the one that I told you. And here in this Barranca, there are 40 sounds of English. You need to find them in a mission with 6 stages. When you get to that mission completed, you are going to be able to give these sounds to a beautiful queen and to a beautiful guardian. She is the queen of the dreamers, and she is the guardian of the family's heart. I know it's something difficult to grasp, but you are going to understand in a minute. The boy was like, "What are you talking about?" And Mine said, the girl, "Your grandmother is a teacher, is an English teacher." "Yes, I remember that." "So she needs to know about these sounds. The sounds have been here for so many years. And in 1886, there was a very special person, Paul Posey, and he was trying to put all the sounds of all the languages in one file in the International Phonemic Alphabet. Remember that I asked you about it? Here, there are about 7,000 languages, guys. Here, you can have all the symbols that represent the sounds of all those languages. But when you try to teach this to your students, you are going to say, "No, please, this is too complicated," right? But if you are paying a little bit of more attention, here we can have the consonants. And here they show you the position, how you are going to be pronouncing. Here we have the vowels. And something that I found amazing, this is like a mouth, right? So you can see the vowels if you are pronouncing them on the top, on the middle, on the bottom of your mouth. Try to do it with me. Try to say with me, E. If you see, it is on the front, and you are closing. Say with me, E. Now, say with me, E. We are going down. Then we have E. And then we have a big ah, like if you are biting an apple. And then we are going, if you can see this one, you can teach to your students, but maybe they are going to find it a little bit difficult to understand this. But also we have phonemic charts. Are you familiar with this? Yes. Sir Adrian Underhill, right? He organized the sounds of English. This is American English. That's why I put that flag. We have 40 sounds. Where are the vowels? On the top left, the diphthongs. On the top right, and the consonants. Okay. Mr. Adrian Underhill states, in chemistry classes, we have the elements, we have the charts with the elements. In geography classes, we have maps. Why don't we have these phonemic charts in the English classes? It would be easier for our students to teach. When do they need the sounds? Today. You know that if you are looking up for a word in the dictionary, you can see the phonemic transcription, yes or no? In all the dictionaries, remember when we were in the secondary, that we looked for a word and there were some symbols? These are the symbols. If we teach our students this code, this alphabet, this phonemic alphabet, they are going to know how to pronounce exactly any kind of word. Their pronunciation is going to improve, so the benefits are so many. But let's be honest, how many of us are using these charts? Raise your hand, I wanna see. One, excellent teacher. And the rest? I have the same reaction like the other speaker when he was asking about the lenses. Like, why not? Why aren't you using? Well, this is very, very, very good. I highly recommend you to follow Mr. Adrian Underhill. You can follow him on his webpage. And also, I want to give you some information that for me was kind of terrifying. In this study, they were testing 2 million people around the world, 111 countries. Mexico is in the place 88. Can you believe it? Out of 111 countries. We improved because 3 years ago, we were in the place 94. We were before Angola. Imagine that. I am pretty sure that in the following studies, we are going to go in a better position. Nowadays in Jalisco, we are having something historical. We are teaching students from secondary and from junior high every single Saturday. And it's a great program, and I am pretty sure the numbers are going to be kind of different later. So imagine in Latin America, Mexico is there. Can you see the problem? And we are next to the USA. I have a theory, and that's what I've been studying. If we start teaching the sounds to our students, English is going to be easier. It's going to be a key, so they are going to have access to the sounds, to the information. Imagine your students listening to a word with sounds they do not know. How are they going to feel? Stressed, maybe blocked. They are going to feel like they are lost. Why don't we start teaching those 40 sounds? How many are there? 40. That's not a lot, and you are going to see how easy they are. Before that, what do you need to pronounce the sounds? I explain my students that we need 3 things. Number 1, you need to know how open or how closed your mouth is. I want you to pronounce with me this sound, ah. How is your mouth? Open, Imagine that your mouth, it's like a door, right? Think of a sound which you do not have to open your mouth. It's semi-open, very good, but it's going to be closed, right? We need to teach our students about their articulators. What do they need in order to pronounce? Another thing that it is important, the position of your... Be careful with this word, please. Do not say another. I know, do not say another thing. All right, so it's going to be... Here, I already have the phonemic transcription. How do we pronounce? Tongue. All right, excellent. Okay, I don't want to get into troubles for this. Another thing that it is important, sorry, before that, the position of your tongue. As I show you in the chart, if it is up, if it is in the center, if it is down, if it is on the front, if it is in the center, if it is down, if it is in the back. For example, pronounce with me E. Now, oo. Now let's go. Ew. Where is your tongue when you say oo? In the back. You don't believe me? Put your finger here, and I want you to say the sound E, and see how it goes back your tongue when you say ooh. Try it. Do not believe anything that I am telling you. Just try it. And please make sure you have a clean finger, all right? Because then I don't want to have any problems for that. Okay. So, what about if you become your classroom into a gym and your students are pronouncing the sounds like if they were in a gym? This is one idea of my colleague, which I am working with, and I'm going to show you later. Another thing that it is so important, the vibration or the lack of vibration. My ECDM students remember that, right? Okay. What is the sound that the snake make? Put your hand here. Okay, now I want you to make the sound of a bee. Zzz. Do you feel the same? No, of course not. It's voiced and unvoiced. You have a start, dear Abraham. Okay, so this is another thing. It is so important for our students to teach the voiced or the unvoiced feature of the sounds. So there are three. Do you remember number one was? The position of your mouth. Very good. The second one was the position of your tongue. Remember the sobrecito with orange flavor? All right. Okay? And the last one is going to be voicing. Very good. So we can start studying the sounds. This is a proposal that I made with my partner, Diana Martinez. Where are you, Diana? She's my student, and she's my partner and my associate, and I've been working with her a lot. We made this proposal. Adrian Anders Hill's phonemic chart have the vowels, the diphthongs, and the consonants. We put it in another way. We put the vowels, diphthongs, and we have the consonants. Why do you think we have two spaces for the consonants? Voiced or unvoiced. If you do not believe me, do this, please. Every time you're going to pronounce a sound, do not pronounce the sound with a vowel because it's going to have a vibration. Put your hand here and say A, E, I, O, U. We have the Spanish vowels. They have vibration. The English vowels, they have vibration. But I want you to do the sound only, the phoneme, only the sound. Did you feel the vibration? There we have the consonants without vibration. Here, do it with me. B, D, G, G, V, V, Z, J, L, U, I. Do you feel the vibration? Okay, this is our proposal. But we have a methodology with 6 phases. That's what we are going to be studying. I have been a teacher for more than 25 years professionally, but honestly, I started when I was 13 years old. I used to go to a town where my mother worked, so I have more than 33 years teaching English, and I really, really, really love it. Something that it causes me a lot of trouble was this pronunciation. When I was studying in the university, I was hidden in the back of the room because I didn't want my teachers to call my name and ask me something because I was terrified. I spent more than 15 years working only with primary students and junior high students because I didn't want them to notice that I had a bad pronunciation. Can you imagine? All the opportunities that I closed by myself just by not knowing the sounds. But many years later, I discovered that I wasn't the only one. My students felt the same way. So I've been working and working and working on different methodologies to help my students get the sounds, which I believe they are so important, they are essential for learning English. This methodology, it is inspired by Bloom's taxonomy. Do you know him? Of course, in the plannings, in the reports, in the exams, we need to use all the Bloom's verbs, right? So we have 6 phases. Number 1, it's going to be memorize. Imagine you are going to show your students one sound with the symbol, and then you are going to make an exam. They are going to feel frustrated. They are going to feel like threatened, like, why are you doing this to me, teacher? It's so difficult. We need to give them this process so our students can memorize, they can understand, they can use, they can analyze, they can evaluate, and finally, they can create with the new information. It seems pretty easy, right? And we do it. I am pretty sure we do with grammar or with functions or with vocabulary. The invitation today is that you start doing this with the sounds. Do not feel afraid of the sounds. The sounds are amazing. Your students are going to have a great time working with them. So let's start with the first one. Ready? Memorize. Well, I'm going to show you this framework, the one that I just showed, where you are going to be memorizing the sounds, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. In the first one, you are going to love this. Here, we have the 40 sounds of English. I am pretty sure you know all of these sounds, yes or no? Do you think your students know them? These ones? Yes, of course. What about these ones? Yes, they are going to be having problems with this. Yes or no? What about if you start teaching them? But you are not going to say, open your books and start practicing the sounds. No, the first thing you're going to be doing with them, you are going to start working memory games. They need to get familiar with the symbols. If they get familiar with the symbols, they are not going to be scared, like, what is going on, teacher? Before you start explaining anything, just show them. For example, here I have a memory game. You can have it on your PowerPoint. You can have it on cards. And they are just going to be matching the pairs. Okay, can you see? Put your students to play. They are going to love it, right? And they are going to say, teacher, ¿qué son esos símbolos medio raros? Do not care about it. Just play a memory game. Just match them, right? For example, what is this sound? For? Beautiful. This one. J, 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 j. Do it with me. I want you to say llave. Now say the sound. Do you feel the vibration? Okay, now I want you to pronounce the sound d, 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 d. Make it together. J, 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 j. And say with me, juice. Jim, Jimmy, judge. Beautiful. What about this? This is different from the sound that we have in Spanish, right? We have b. This one, you need to put your lips on the top of your teeth on the top of your lips, and you need to vibrate. Can you feel it? As in 7. This one, how do you pronounce this sound? Excellent. Listen, you can take a tissue paper with your students. They are going to love it, and they just need to blow. I want you to do it with me without the tissue paper. Blow your mouth. Do you feel the air? Now, the tip of your tongue, a little bit out, and keep blowing. For words as mouth, bath, both. Do you feel? And it is great when you're having the tissue paper because the students see, and if they are not blowing the paper, something is wrong with the sound. So it's mechanical, and I always explain to my students, it's mechanical. The moment that you are putting the position of your mouth, your tongue, if you are voicing or unvoicing, the sound is going to come out. Do not worry, it's going to be mechanical and it's going to be great. Repeat with me, 3. Beautiful. How do we pronounce this sound? It's like a D, but your tongue needs to go out. Say with me. As in the word mother. And guess what? In English, many words have this sound. The, this, daughter, no, daughter, no, daughter, it's D. For example, then, this, those, that. There are so many words, function words, that have this sound. So it is important to have. Another one, what about this one? Z. Feel the vibration. Z. Zebra. This one? Sh. Fish. What about this one? Okay, this one is very similar to the previous one. Shh. Put your hand here. Shh. Now, add some vibration. And say the word, treasure. Treasure. Beautiful. We have this one. How do you pronounce this? Let me show you the word. Okay, many people would say kin, right? With the N. I want you to say kin with the N. Where is your tongue? Kin. Behind your teeth. Yes or no? Now, I want you to say with me, in. The tongue is behind your teeth. Do it. In. When I count to 3, your tongue needs to go on the back. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Did you feel the tongue? Okay, I'm going to give you a tip. I want you to say in, but I want you to add the sound G. 1, 2, 3. Do not say something inappropriate, please, all right? Only in. Do you feel how the tongue goes to the back? In, and I want you to keep it there. This is this beautiful sound. For example, we have in in all the verbs in present continuous, painting, and our students are painting, dancing, listening. No, it is going to be painting. Say with me. Dancing, listening, beautiful. This is and you are so nice, very good. Another sound, you have another start. How do you pronounce that sound? It's like when we are laughing, ha, 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 ha. It's going to be house. Very good, beautiful. What about this one? Ooh. It's a longer U. Ooh. As in window. Excellent. Do you think this is difficult? Can your students do it? Yes or no? Do you think it is important for your students to know these sounds? Of course it is. And the last one that we are going to be studying today, this is a longer E. For example, words with Y, people say yes, you, Yellow. And we say, no, it's going to be yes. Repeat with me. Yes. You. Yellow. So, phase number 1, and we did the both here. Memory. Do not care about the articulation of the sounds. Only memorize the symbols. We recommend you, Diana and I, to start working in the different kinds of sounds. Start with the vowels, diphthongs, consonants which have vibration, and consonants that do not have vibration. And when you start working with this, every time your students look for a word in a dictionary, they have the phonemic transcription, and they know how to pronounce that word correctly. There is no more, teacher, pero es que se escribe de una forma y se pronuncia de otra. We write it in a one way, but it is pronounced in another way. No, you are giving them the code, and we have had the code for so many years. Remember, 1886, more than 100 years. Second phase, I already told you, to explain. You are going to be showing your students about if the mouth is open or closed, the jaws. You are going to be explaining your students the position of your tongue. And you are going to be explaining if they have vibration or if they do not have vibration. So it's going to be a great challenge for them. Phase number 3, apply. And I am going to give you a challenge. Ready? You are going to be looking at these words. How do you pronounce this? And your students, how would they pronounce? Okay, but what about if they already know these sounds and these symbols? Immediately, they are going to correct the pronunciation. Isn't that beautiful? Repeat with me. No. Beautiful. Your students, how would they pronounce this? College, collages, collage, right? But when they have this, how are they going to pronounce? Colleague. And there is another distinction. Every time we have an apostrophe, the next syllable is going to be a stress. So we do the magic of the na-na-na. Na-na. Do it with me. Na-na. Colleague. Remember, pronunciation is not something that is fixed. We need to be flexible because we have American pronunciation, British pronunciation, we have different dialects, we have different accents, we have different symbols. The ones that I am showing you are the ones that I took from the International Phonemic Alphabet. So it is important to explain that to your students. I remember when I was in the university studying this, the first time I saw something different, I said, there is something wrong with me. I do not understand this. And I was blocked. And I kept learning. So please tell your students to be open. And if they see something different, they can tell you and they don't say, no, teacher, it's not the way you are saying. Sometimes we are so scared of teaching because our students are going to tell us if something works or it doesn't work. So we need to be open for learning from each other. All right? This one, guys. Your students? But? Beautiful. What about this one? But with the magical code? Or mountain. Remember what I was telling you. What about this? Environment? Something like that? Here is where I use the magic of stress. I say, na, 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 na. Repeat with me. Environment. And immediately your students are going to pronounce it correctly. And it's magical, guys. This one. Money, right? And money. Repeat with me. Money, 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 money. Beautiful. What about this one? Cousin. Cousin, 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 cousin. Like cousin, cousin. Like right now we have Uruapan, right? What about this? Check the phonemic. And here we have variations. It could be daughter or it could be daughter, right? Something like that. This one. Business and the business teacher, right? What about this one? And feel the vibration. Business, 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 business. Beautiful. The last one. Again, I use the magic of the na-na-na. Na-na-na-na-na. I'm not saying anything inappropriate, I promise. Na-na-na-na-na. Say with me. Na-na-na-na-na. Pronunciation. Beautiful, you get it. This activity, you can do it with your students. They could even be scrambling or unscrambling the sounds in order to pronounce words that you give them. Your imagination, teachers, your creativity has no limits. Remember, this is a framework we are proposing, and you can use and you can adapt the best way you want to use it. Phase number 4, analyze. In this one, we are going to draw connections among information, and we are going to contrast. And for this, my favorite activity is minimal pairs, right? Because your students can be contrasting, can be analyzing the sounds. What are minimal pairs? Who can help me? The definition of minimal pairs. The definition of minimal pairs. Almost, teacher, almost. 2 words, teacher. Okay, there are, okay, very good. This is the definition, 2 words with the same sounds except one. And the sound that we are going to use different is the one that we are going to contrast. For example, this one, we have shin and we have jin. We have rush and here we have 2 sounds different, sorry. And we have raj. We have wish, and we have wish, wish, wish. In this way, for example, imagine, who is married here? Girls that are married. Girls that are married. Okay. Imagine your husbands are telling you, my love, I was invited to the playa. But we have 2 vowels. One is short and the other one is long. The pronunciation of that word will depend if the boy is going to the playita or is not going to the playita. That important pronunciation is, if he says, my darling, I'm going to the beach, he did it, he can go, right? So it is so important, guys, pronunciation matters. Phase 5, evaluate. You are going to examine information, and for this, you are going to be testing. I'm going to give you some ideas. For example, you can give them, do you like this? The words with the phonemic transcription and emojis? You can do it on ChatGPT. It's my best ally for working on this. You can give them all the information, and it's going to be giving you the transcription, and it's going to be giving you the emojis, all right? And for example, you give them, the students, this, and then they can record, and then they can compare, or you can use, there is another app called Elsa, in which you can be working too. Please write that app. It's so good for pronunciation. Elsa Speak, and it has free content, and it's great. And the phase 6, which is create. In this one, you are going to invent with the new information. So, what about if the students are you give them words with the transcriptions, and they just start creating stories or very short sentences in order to practice that. To conclude, guys, the 6 ways method has the steps that I told you. Memorize, use. Then we are going to memorize, understand, use, analyze, evaluate, and create new information. I have it twice, sorry. Remember the story that I was telling you? Okay. In a book that my partner and I wrote, we were working on that magical barranca where there was a queen, but she had so many problems. And the sounds helped her. The sounds, they have different groups. The silence guardians, who are the consonants that do not have vibration. The persuasive vowels, the consonants with vibration. The mystical echoes, the diphthongs. And the melodic encounters, the vowels. And they help that queen to solve a terrible problem that she had. I wanna ask you to go to this, I wanna ask you to go to this code, please. Here we have the interactive page. You can be sharing this page to your students, it's free. Your students can be working with the exercise. And remember, guys, if knowledge is power, learning is your superpower. Thank you very much.
Okay, please, another round of applause for our guests today. Thank you. Ok. Bien, Miss, pues a nombre de la Secretaría de Educación del Estado de Jalisco, te hacemos la entrega oficial de la constancia por nuestro evento de Recrea Academy y asimismo te entregamos una de nosotros, de nuestra Dirección de Lenguas Extranjeras. Te agradecemos muchísimo el apoyo, te hacemos entrega oficial, así como de tu reconocimiento de la dirección. Thank you.